Okay, so week 2, day 2, exercise 2. We're going to start with our strengthening of our tibialis again. Then we're going to move over to some back exercises, and then we go into our rest. So our first exercise on the tibialis, in week 1, you lay on your back, you use the resistance band, and you would pull against the resistance band. And then that was strengthening our tibialis. So we'll do a variation in week 2. In week 1, you do the same again that you did in week 1. In week 2, you do this variation where you come up against the wall. Put your back against the wall, and then you lift the front of your foot and you hold it. You can actually see the muscle extending over there. So there you go, full, activate the muscle. So to make it harder for yourself, you'll go down lower and you'll do this. If you want to make it easier for yourself, you go higher, and you start there and you go up. You can also add resistance by wearing shoes. Shoes make it more difficult. If you find that you're wearing shoes and it's more difficult, take it off. But the idea is you want to get that extension up. You want to hold for like a count of 3 and go down. Up, hold for a count of 3, go down, and then you carry on with that all the way until your time allocation is finished. Then you'll come over. If you remember, in week 1 we did Supermans. The difference between Superman and a back extension is that Supermans are out in front of you, your hands are out in front of you and you lift. With the back extension, we're going to have variations. So in other words, you can put your hand under your chin and you lift like this. Some people put their hands behind their arms and they lift like this. Their hands behind their heads and they lift like this and they hold it. So you want to lift and you want to count for, let's say, count to 3 and then go back down again. Great exercise. If your back starts hurting in any way, and remember, when doing this, same as before, you want something soft under your hip so your hip is straight. So you lift your hip so your hip isn't askew. When you do this, you hold 1, 2, 3, down. If it is really hurting too much, you can do it like this. Lay down. 1, 2, 3. It takes a lot of the stress off your lower back. But it's not ideal because we want to strengthen our lower back. So the sooner you can get to this position or this position, the better. Then you get up on all fours. And for a count of 5, legs straight, arms straight. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Down. Switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Down. Switch. And you get it. So on and so forth. If your hip is hanging again, put something under your knee. So lift your hip so that your hip is straight, and then you do the exercise again. And then once again, tibialis, back extensions, leg and arm extension, and you do that for 3 sets, and then you go into your rest.